babies. So, welcome to my channel, God the Promise Keeper, where I am strengthening hearts through faith, hope, and love. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you haven't already, I need you to go ahead and click that subscribe button. I need you to like this video, and I need you to comment on this video. You want to know why? Because we're building a relationship. Yes, a relationship. Relationship, it takes two or multiple people to be able to build, to be able to communicate. You got me, you're keeping up. Yes, so I need you to go ahead and like, subscribe, and I need you to comment and communicate back to me once you watch this video to give me some of your feedback. Thank you. So today's episode, wait, how y'all doing? Y'all doing good today? Y'all all right? I'm good today. Today is a beautiful day. It's a fabulous day, a sunny day. It's hot here in Florida. Whew. Real hot, like sweating your edges off type of hot, like sweating your eyebrows off type of hot, like sweating like when I walk out the door, all this makeup gonna fall off my face type of hot. But the Lord is good. God is good all the time. Yes, he is. Praise Jesus. Yes, he's good. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about obedience. Like, what did God tell you? What did God say? What did he say to you? What did he say? Okay, so you probably been asking me, what do you mean by what did he say? So before Joshua was getting ready to cross over the Jordan, they were getting ready to go over the Jordan, so to be able to conquer the promised land. So as we know, Moses was the one that was supposed to go, but instead of doing what Jesus told him to do, he struck the rock. That wasn't his instructions. Jesus ain't tell him to strike no rock. That wasn't his instructions. So what happened? His disobedience cost him the promised land. So we fast forward. God is all about a God of obedience, and God is clearly, when God is talking, he's always giving us some type of instruction in order for us to obtain something. He's given some type of instructions. Granted, he went to the cross. He died for us, all that type of stuff. We know all of that. But some things we have to follow instructions. We have to follow and be obedient to what God tells us. So, he told Joshua to be strong, be courageous, don't fear, because he is going to be with him. That was his specific instructions for him. So that tells me that there was going to be some fear or some type of situations that was going to come up that was going to provoke fear. That was where fear was going to try to enter into his heart. But he had already got instructions that God was already going to give him the promised land. That the promised land was already theirs. He just had to follow the instructions and cross over the Jordan to be able to get to the promised land. So I said all that to say, and that's a long story short. If you want to find that out, you can go and read Joshua. Starting in Joshua 1, it talks about where God gives him the instructions and stuff like that of what he was to do. So specifically, particular scriptures that I was referring to, Joshua 1:7 and Joshua 1:9. Go and read it. So I said all of that to say, what instructions have God given you? What have God said to you? Because a lot of the times we sit around here, we moping, or we be looking at God all sideways and stuff like that, looking at him like, where my promises at? And we followed the instructions that he has given us. We ain't did what he told us to do. We are not following instructions. Instructions can cost you your promise. So God is a promise keeper. God is a man that keeps his word. But are we? We are the ones that break our promises. We the ones that be breaking promises, and we be like, well, God, if you give me this, God, if you bring my husband, God, if you bring my wife, I promise I'll do this. I'm gonna worship you forever. But when you get him, you forget about your promise that you don't promise him. And then you just like push him on down to the side. You say that you ain't gonna you said you ain't gonna kiss. Okay, for instance, I'm gonna use myself, since y'all don't want to be truth, y'all don't want to tell the truth about what y'all do. Okay, so it was a time in my life in which it still is my instructions, and when I was in a relationship, and before I got engaged in the relationship that I was in a few years ago, my specific instructions that God gave me was don't kiss until marriage. Don't kiss. Those were my specific instructions, that I was not supposed to engage in any type of kissing before marriage. While doing our dating, doing our courting, doing engagement, all of that, I was not supposed to do any kissing. Well, guess what? Your girl kissed. And you think she in the promised land? You think I got my promise yet? No, because I didn't follow instructions. I mean, granted, God do give grace and stuff like that, and some people may be able to be in a relationship and they can kiss and stuff like that, but my specific instructions from God was do not kiss before marriage. So my consequences may be different from somebody else's consequences because I specifically heard God for myself. I specifically had instructions from God, and I didn't follow those instructions. So I really couldn't be upset. I was salty with God, y'all. I was salty with God because I still ain't got the my little promise or whatnot. I was salty with the Lord, but I didn't follow the instructions of God. So how can we expect God? We want God to give all these blessings and all this type of stuff. We want God to always come through for us when we in crisis or when we done got ourselves into something, but we not following his instructions. Like, that's not fair. And then it makes it seem like, oh, God is a liar or God don't keep his word. No. My God is a promise keeper, and my God, he's not a man that he shall lie, nor is he the son of man that he will repent. So he doesn't lie. He does not lie. The promise is yours, but you have to follow the instructions that God has given to you. Are you supposed to be talking casually dating? Are you supposed to be having all these conversations, all these texting, and and you talking to all these different men, or you talking to all these different women because you trying to either get to know them or you just want a free date, you want to go and get a free meal and stuff? Girl, you better get your coins up and go pay for your own food. Did God tell you to be communicating with him? Did he tell you to communicate? Did he tell you to? If not, why are you holding up somebody else's husband? Why are you entertaining him? Why are you entertaining somebody else's husband? Why are you entertaining somebody else's wife? Leave them alone. Leave them alone, or put them back on the market. Put them back up on the shelf, because that's not your instruction. If God gave you instructions to not casually date and to wait until he brings the right mate, then you gonna be waiting forever because you're not following his instructions. So faith. I need you to follow the instructions of the Lord so that you can get to your promise. Follow the instructions. Are you supposed to be drinking, having a casual drink? Are you supposed to be doing that? Did God tell you to do that? Did God say that you can do that? Are you supposed to be going to lounges? Did God tell you to do that? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help you get to the promised land. That's all. I'm trying to help you obtain your promise. That's all. For me, I don't know about y'all, but for me, I can't casually date. That's not what God called me to do. Those not my instructions. So I'm not casually dating. Like, if I see, yes, I know I'm not saying that you can't have like conversation and trying to get to know someone, but if you know that you don't have any intention of going any further, you don't have any intention of marrying this person, if you can't see yourself marrying and there's no purpose in this relationship where God will be glorified, where y'all will do the work of the kingdom, why are you wasting your time? Darling, boo-boo, you can be doing that, creating something, serving somebody. You could be using that, doing something else. You could be using that time to be productive, or you could be worshiping, going for a walk, putting that time to invest in something else. Invest in, I don't know, a business or something like that. Invest in being a solution to all of these problems that we have in the world. But don't just be around here just gaining emotional soul ties, getting attached emotionally to somebody, because sometimes those are harder soul ties to break. So don't be out here disobeying the Lord. I need you to, what did God say? What did the Lord tell you to do? Because if you're not following the instructions of God, you're not going to obtain your promise. Or you will obtain a counterfeit. That's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother. Not following the instructions, you either won't get it or you will entertain a counterfeit. And then you'll get into something, and once you're already in it, you get married to this person, and then you realize, God dang, this ain't not now. You already married now. You already married for you to be trying to be realizing that now. So follow the if you follow the instructions of God, God don't just talk just to talk. He talks with purpose. He talks with intention. He speaks to you with intention. If you don't know how to hear the voice of the Lord, I'm gonna need you to go get in the presence. I'm gonna need you to spend some time with him so you can learn his voice, so you can know how he speaks to you. You can learn how he communicates to you, because some people he communicate audibly, some he gives instructions through visions, through dreams. I know for me, he specifically gives instruction. He specifically communicates with me very audibly. That's about like the norm. He do communicate with me through visions and dreams, but the most is audible. I've learned the voice of God. I've learned the voice of God to know when that's the Lord and when that's not of God. So I just want to challenge you to go back and what is God saying, because you may not be in the promised land, or you may not have attained your promise yet, because you ain't following the instructions of the Lord. So I need you to have faith in what God is saying. That's why I'm challenging you. Y'all gonna be my little faith babies. We're gonna be faith babies, because we're gonna believe and we're gonna stand on the promises of God, and we're going to believe God. But at the same time, as we're believing God to fulfill the promises in our life, we have to be obedient to his instructions. You got to be obedient. That's the only way that you're going to get your promises, being obedient. That's the only way you're going to be in the perfect will of God, is following the instructions. So this is both ways. This is for men and this is for women. You don't have to casually date. You may not be called to casually date and be going on all these different dates. For what? What void are you trying to fill? You don't got a hole in your heart somewhere. You got a hole in your heart, and are you going on all these different dates trying to get that filled up? Why you can't feed yourself? I don't know what that is. Why you can't feed yourself? Why you can't take yourself to the movies? Why you can't go to the beach, walk on the beach by yourself? Why you can't buy your own self flowers? Why you can't go on your own picnic? I'm just saying. Why you can't send your own self a text? Why you can't tell yourself you love yourself? Or why you can't say, I love you, girl? Why you can't look in the mirror and talk to yourself? I talk to myself. Some people think it's a little weird, but to each his own. I talk to myself. Why you can't buy your own flowers? Buy yourself your own flowers. Yeah, do it yourself. Do it until Jesus sends the right person. Do it in faith. Like, move in faith. We're moving in faith this season. We're moving in faith this season. Not fear, not doubt, not unbelief. We are moving in faith. Okay? So, you watching this, you are officially a faith baby. My little faith babies. You have officially become a faith baby. Okay? So, we'll be doing everything in faith. We are moving. We're moving in faith. Okay? That's what we're doing. So, I need you to go back. I need you to figure out what the Lord say. Or if you already knew, I need you to go back, repent. I sound so mean. I'm sorry, y'all. I just get passionate about this stuff, because I've seen the results of both ends. I've seen the results of being obedient to God, and I've experienced the results of being disobedient to God. So I apologize if it comes off that I'm yelling a little bit. I promise you I'm not yelling. I love you guys, and I thank you guys for supporting me and joining me on this little journey and stuff. But I'm just here to, to just kind of give you that boost to go back to the Lord, get back at the feet of the Jesus. Okay? It is a such thing. Y'all gonna rock with me and all my Ebonics. Appreciate you. Okay, so I hope that you got something out of this video. What did God say? What did he say? Whatever he said, follow those instructions, because the sooner you follow and be obedient to the instructions of God, the sooner you'll get to your promised land. Yep. Don't dread the process. Don't back out of the process. Don't circumvent the process. Go through the process. Like they had to go over, and Jesus opened it up. They had to cross over the Jordan. He opened that up for them. So he'll make a way for you to go through, the process. But you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. You gotta trust, and you have to believe the Lord. Believe Papa for your promise. Okay? Believe him. So, thank you guys for watching. I pray that you were encouraged. I pray that you were provoked. So, thank you for watching God the Promise Keeper, where I am strengthening hearts through faith, hope, and love, reminding the world of God's promises, edifying relationships with a whole new heart. A whole new heart. A whole new heart. Yes. A whole new heart. All right, y'all. So, until next time.